The incident that happened to me last autumn, it just doesn't fit into my head. It defies logic. It still haunts my dreams. I wake up in a cold sweat, gasping for air, clutching the sheets. I want to share this with you. Maybe if I say it out loud, I'll find some peace. Or maybe, just maybe, it will serve as a warning for you. It all started on a Friday. I got stuck at work until late evening, closing out reports. My family had already gone upstate for the weekend, and I was supposed to join them. I took the last commuter train out of the city. By the time I stepped onto the platform at my station, it was nearly 11 p.m. The station was deserted, desolate, just the wind scraping dry leaves against the concrete. I checked the bus schedule and cursed under my breath. The next connection wasn't for another 40 minutes. The weather was miserable. A freezing autumn rain was starting to spit from the sky. Standing at that wind-blown bus stop for 40 minutes felt like torture. I decided to try my luck hitchhiking. I walked a bit down the road to where the streetlights illuminated the shoulder of the highway and stuck out my thumb. Cars were scarce. Most just zoomed past, ignoring me, splashing dirty water onto my shoes. About 10 minutes later, a guy in a pickup truck slowed down. He rolled the window down just a crack. "Where are you headed?" he asked. "To Oak Creek. It's just 10 miles north," I replied. The guy looked me up and down, doing some mental math, and then named a price that was 3 times the cost of an Uber. No thanks," I said, shaking my head. "I'll just wait for the bus." He scoffed, rolled out the window, and peeled away. I was left standing in the dark, already regretting my decision. I was just about to give up and head back to the bus stop when I saw headlights. A car was approaching slowly, almost crawling. It was an old sedan painted a dull, dirty maroon color, eaten away by rust around the wheel wells. A model from the 80s, boxy and heavy. The car stopped right in front of me. The engine was idling surprisingly quietly, almost too quietly. I walked up and opened the passenger door to peek inside. The first thing that hit me was the cold. It felt like I had stuck my head into an industrial freezer. It wasn't just the night air. It was a dry, dead cold that made my eyes water instantly. Holy cow, I thought. Why does he have the AC blasting like that? It's freezing outside. I looked at the driver. The man behind the wheel was off. He didn't even turn his head at first. He just patted the passenger seat with his palm, inviting me in. "I'm going to Oak Creek," I said, my teeth starting to chatter. He turned to me slowly. His face was pale like wax. His skin looked unnaturally smooth, plastic almost, as if it were stretched too tight over his skull. And he was smiling. His lips stretched into wide grin, but his eyes remained dead. They were bulging, cloudy, glazed over with a milky film like a fish that it had been rotting in the sun for days. He didn't blink, not once. Finally, he spoke. His voice was hollow, flat, as if coming from the bottom of a well. "I won't make it all the way," he said. "I'll stop about a mile short. You'll walk the rest, if you can." The phrasing was weird, and that smile, it didn't leave his face. It looked like someone was pulling the corners of his mouth with invisible strings. He's drunk, I thought, or high on something. My survival instinct started screaming like a siren in my head. You know what? I changed my mind, I said, backing away, trying to close the door. But he suddenly lunged toward me. He grabbed the handle from the inside and held the door open. Get in, he hissed. The smile widened, exposing too many teeth. I won't charge you. What are you scared of? The streetlight above us flickered, illuminating his hand gripping the door handle. I froze. His fingers, they didn't move like a living person's. They were gray, with bluish fingernails locked in rigid, claw-like position. It looked like the hand of a mannequin or a corpse. A wave of a primal animalistic terror washed over me. The smell from the cabin finally hit my nose. A mixture of a stale air, mildew, and wet earth. I yanked the door, ripping it from his grip, slammed it shut, and ran. I sprinted back to the bus stop without looking back. I could swear I heard tires crunching on gravel behind me. I practically crashed into the group of people waiting for the bus. Only then did I catch my breath and turn around. The road was empty. The car was gone. Oh, he left, thank God, I exhaled. My heart was pounding in my throat. I tried to rationalize it. Just a weird guy. Maybe he was sick. Maybe he had a skin condition and he blasted the AC because he was drunk and overheating. I probably looked like an idiot running away like that. The bus was another half hour late. When we finally got moving, I sat by the window staring into the darkness. We were almost at Oak Creek, just a short distance from the home, when the bus started to slow down. Ahead, blue and red lights were flashing against the trees. An accident. Despite my exhaustion, a sinking feeling in my gut made me get off the bus one stop early. I walked toward the police barricade. There was an ambulance and a tow truck. I walked closer and I felt the ground drop out from under me. It was that car, the same old rusted maroon sedan, only now it was a mangled pile of twisted metal wrapped violently around a thick concrete utility pole. The front end was completely destroyed. I asked the paramedic walking by, "Did the driver make it?" The medic shook his head wearily. "Not a chance. Died on impact. It happened a while ago, but someone only called it in now." I started shaking uncontrollably. I remembered that cold in that cabin, the cold of a grave. I looked up and saw a green road sign illuminated by a tow truck's headlights. Oak Creek, 1 mile. That hollow, dead voice echoed in my mind. "I won't make it all the way. I'll stop about a mile short. You walk the rest, if you can." He knew. He was already dead when he stopped for me. He was just replaying his death over and over again. I doubt I'd have been able to walk the rest if I had gotten in, I thought. I don't know what saved me. A sixth sense, a guardian angel, or did the ghost himself warn me? I don't know, but I still dream of that car. In the dream, I get in. We're driving. He's smiling that horrible wax smile, and then the world flips upside down and we fall into the abyss. And I wake up in a cold sweat, grateful that on that night I decided to wait for the boss.